when he was a kid, and he was part of this noble family, and he lived in a castle, and he was like a genius, a prodigy child, but he was right around World War II happened. He was like 8 or 9. And his parents' castle got taken by the Nazis. He had to go on the run with his little sister, and then he ended up having to watch his little sister get eaten by them. And he also ate her too. They made him eat her, and he ate his sister.
Oh, that'll fuck you up.
So that's where all that came from. But
what's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show. Christoph Waltz challenges evil itself. Almost, yes, the voice helps. There's little things, the way he pronounces words.
Right.
He earned it.
Yeah.
Right? Like he'll do
right.
little things. He'll move stuff around like we said. But if you had one of those like tracking devices just on his eyes, you would know what was happening.
Right.
You would know what he was thinking, what he was doing.
He tries to be as evil as he can be without being evil.
Right.
Trying to look evil. And he does a fantastic job. And I actually just thought about something. You know who he reminds me of? Hannibal Lecter. Like if looking at him, because usually in the movies and stuff, we do get to see a little bit of Hannibal, like especially in the prequel Red Dragon, and a little bit in the sequel. But I imagine he's like what Hannibal was like when he was out and in society and elegant and this, there's nothing wrong with it. He's just a nice doctor. He's great. He's fantastic. And it's in the eyes too. Anthony Hopkins' performance as Hannibal Lecter is one of the intimidating, and the body movement and the language he uses. Oh, it's fantastic.
Let's take that line right there, because you did a video on this. You did a full video on Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. Obviously, guy's a cannibal.
Yeah,
it's very not good.
Right.
Evil, you might say, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But what, psychologically, how did you break him down? Minus his obvious... Guys, if you're not following me over on Instagram, my personal page is at Julian D. Dorey, and the podcast page is at Julian Dorey Podcast. Both links are in the description below. I'm trying to build that out. I've never focused on it before, but it's important that, obviously, I get the fans over there, because we announce a lot of things pertaining to the show. So I hope to see you follow me there. Check the links in the description. Psychosis for thinking humans are good for food.
So, as far as his psychology goes, this isn't very. Have you seen all the movies?
I haven't seen all of them,
or
but
read
I've
the
seen
books?
Silence of the Lambs a million times.
Yeah. So, if it was just Silence of the Lambs, there'd be more guesswork into what he is. But in the sequel, I think it's the 4th book he wrote. Third, I don't remember, but one of the sequels, it's also a prequel and a sequel, like the intermix Hannibal's backstory when he was a kid. And it turns out he grew up in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, one of those three, when he was a kid, and he was part of this noble family, and he lived in a castle, and he was like a genius, a prodigy child. But he was right around World War II happened. He was like 8 or 9. And so his parents' castle got taken by the Nazis. He had to go on the run with his little sister. And then he ended up having to watch his little sister get eaten by them when the weather got really bad and they needed something to eat. And they chose to kill her and eat her. And so he had to, and he also ate her too. They made him eat her. And he ate his sister.
Oh, that'll fuck you up.
So that's where all that came from. But there's things about Hannibal in the books that they don't really say in the movies. One, he's incredibly smart. That's apparent in the movies.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also got this like strange dexterity and strength, even though he's small and lithe. And aside from the obvious psychological elements from the childhood, that plays obviously heavy into who he became. But the way he is physically and mentally, it seems like an impossibility, right? The things they describe, like he's incredibly strong, like stronger than he should be. He's one of the smartest people who ever lived. I kind of likened him to like a super predator, and how even though we haven't really experienced a person like him with those kind of characteristics and traits, we don't know the extent of human evolution, and it is possible that someone like Hannibal could be born with weird genetic, abnormalities that make them strong or incredibly smart. And then you factor in all that trauma they went through and they turn out to be a man like him. So I don't know, he's a very, very fascinating character to look at. Especially, it's been a while since I did that video, and it's been a while since I've read anything on him, but he it's like it wasn't malicious for him. He was just, it was another mode of human experience, was eating people. You know, he was really into culinary, and he didn't want to deny himself that part of life. And of course, what he experienced as a child also influenced him to do it.
How do you even
Yeah.
like go back to the 8-year-old kid or whatever, 9-year-old kid?
Yeah.
How do you even judge that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
watching your sister get eaten and you got to take a bite?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the other thing. Like, if you don't think you'd be fucked up from that,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's a great example of I sympathize with Hannibal.
Yes.
Horrible that person had to go through that and experience those things, but that sympathy is not an excuse for what they did.
Yes, at some point.
It's an explanation of why they did what they did. So yeah, you can still sympathize with him, but it's not, don't use it as an excuse. It's just a mode to understand better why he did what he did.
That's right.
You know,
that's exactly right.
Mhm.
I agree completely. I think it, you know, at some point, like whether it's 18 or if it should really be 25 scientifically, at some point,
right,
it's your free will that decides it. Now, do some people have a way harder time,
right,
because of the things around them? We've talked about that at length today already.
Or a disorder, anything that's influencing your decisions. They're still your decisions. That's the thing.
Still the decision. Now, I think if someone's schizophrenic and completely unaware of
then
that's
it's
different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, there's levels to it, like you said. And so
the insanity plea exists for a reason.
Right.
You know?
You don't empathize with a 35-year-old Hannibal Lecter just fucking eating bitches and shit. You know, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you can empathize with the child who set that man into motion, who didn't get to make that choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's so, dude, it's so weird. It's so hard to think about. You know,
Yeah. And there's something actually I wanted to say earlier when we were talking about, oh man, I almost lost it. What is it? When we were talking about committing crimes and empathizing, what was it? Oh, so you mentioned earlier, and I thought this a lot when I was younger too. One of the reasons that people don't commit crimes, right, is they think, I don't want to go to jail for it. There's that thing punishment. Of right and wrong, punishment, right? Yeah. But if there's anything that I ever wanted to preach about, it's that we should all be, if you're capable of it, because the people with disorders aren't capable, we should all be not thinking, I don't want to do this because it's going to land me in jail. I don't want to do this because this person is another person just like me, and if this happened to me, I wouldn't like it very much. That's would solve a lot of the world's problems, honestly. If people just stopped for a second to think, hey, this person that I'm about to do this terrible thing to also is a person just like me, maybe they wouldn't like it as much as I do, and I'm not going to do it. I think that's something that the world needs to get on.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.